can't pronounce his name. Ikoja? Yeah. Koja, yeah.
Yeah, Ikoji.
Ikoji, yeah.
Yeah, he's
So that's
he's one of my ninja.
yeah, so I guess I'll give it to you to answer, CJ.
Yeah. So the first one was just asking how the Cabal actually managed to infiltrate the village while no one else had any idea. So he basically wants me to explain it. And it's actually pretty simple. There have been a lot of subtle clues in all of the role plays that actually sort of tell the story of how they did it. And it's because a lot of them answer with, "We've been here the whole time." Saiga, one of the agents that spoke with Koro directly, speaks to knowing a lot of the people that that he's with at the time. They were mist refugees, people who survived the Water Country Cataclysm and traveled elsewhere. We had a lot of people from Mist show up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all that, but regardless, we had a lot of Mist people show up, and so it was just like he said, yeah, over the last couple months, I myself showed up here with these mercenaries, and he hints to the fact that he showed up by himself, which means that the group. So there's a group of the Big Seven that lead the Cabal. That he showed up by himself at an individual time, which sort of hints to the fact that any of the other ones could have already been there or showed up anytime after that. And there is, in the first very in-character announcement, where it's kind of the Cabal announcing their sudden takeover of Suna, one of the lines from it is, I'm just going to read a very quick excerpt, is, "We are the bakers, stoneworkers, teachers, doctors, servers, servants, and merchants you see every day. We are Sunagakure." And it basically hints to the fact that their organization is ingrained into the village. And when you think about intelligence networks, it's a lot easier to catch someone who wasn't there before and is trying to sneak in now, as opposed to maybe a family lineage that owe their allegiance to someone else that decided to live within the village. So for the last couple generations of a family, they've secretly been, reporting to someone else. And it's not that unusual for someone from Sand to travel to Soon's Haven, which is the trade capital of Wind Country, where they could, just very nonchalantly trade information with someone. So when you have maybe a bunch of spies living in the village that no one's ever aware of, and you can't technically root out because they've been living there for that long, you would essentially have to kill everybody or accept the fact that they're going to live in their period. And those agents actually aren't even being addressed. Like, they're not being used. They're staying inside their disguises. They're not suddenly coming forth with swords and weapons trying to continue inciting anarchy. They're just pretending to be regular villagers, and some of them might die due to some of the events. But that's not the important part. It's the fact that they're trying to let you know that, yeah, we understand how your village works because we have so many people living inside your village for so long that we've helped build it up. And so it was very easy, with all of this knowledge passed along over so many years, that it's like, we understand exactly how you're built up. We know all your defenses. We know the ins and outs of your village. We know how to lock you down perfectly, and we know how to get people in and out. Ignoring the fact that the last couple of months we've let in so many refugees, it's not too difficult to get inside the village anyway, which is kind of contradictory to our isolationist sort of style that we've taken up over the last couple decades, because we put ourselves underground. But typically, if people show up, we kind of let them in, which is kind of also the double-edged sword of these people suddenly being here, because we probably just let all of them through our front door without any question.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, I want to my last comment, remark on that is that a lot of village names just allow people to come inside. There's no rules to say you can't come in. So sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot by just allowing people to come in the village. So you make a good point about that.
All right. I was going to take the next question here from the same person, Ikoji Koga, I believe. He pretty much asked, where do we draw the line as admin between making new rules for the players and coddling them? I do not try to coddle our players at all. I can only speak for myself here. I know most of the admin team usually will agree with me, however. We're aiming to make this game about playing your role, playing a good part at it, but at no point are we coming up with rules just to, oh, okay, y'all want to change this, we're going to change it for you. If it seems like something that might make people leave the site, or if changing a rule might bring people in, that's one thing. What I'm actually hoping for is that we can make it so that things actually get a bit more streamlined as far as all the rules. We can hopefully knock those down some. But we definitely are looking to make it so it's not so easy anymore to get to certain places.
Okay, well, yeah, I agree with that too. So a lot of people think that like admin just makes rules for the sake of rules. So sometimes it's kind of hard to see the underlying truth. So
Any rule that we have made in the past month, at the very least, the main goal for that rule has been trying to make sure that new players come in, make sure that the game is focused on role playing.
okay, now the next segment we're gonna have a special topic. So like I said before, basically every special topic will vary in each episode. This episode is going to be based on this question: what does it mean to be a shinobi on NC? And to give you some little backstory, a shinobi, by definition, is a covert mercenary during the feudal Japan era. They are known for their espionage, assassination, sabotage, and infiltration skills. But this definition kind of varies in different realms, especially Naruto and NC. So I think it's really important to discuss exactly what does it mean to be a shinobi on NC. And Kahako from Cloud made a response to this question. She says, I think it varies from character to character. For example, Kahako views it as an honor to be a part of the shinobi ranks. And I'm sure there are many ways with that. I'm sure there are many with that same mentality. However, her aunt views them as a necessary evil, prefers not to deal with them if she can. I can also really enjoy Masao, I think that's correct, Masao's icy view on being a shinobi. He mentions quite often that those with chocolate abilities were too dangerous to be left to their own devices, and the village were just glorified prisons. So guys, what do you think about that response? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I tend to agree with it a little bit. It is definitely up to each character what they think a shinobi is. I know some people, they see him as just soldiers. You got people like Zenichi, who's going around as a mercenary selling the services he gained through training. You have people who, to them, it's power. Straight and simple. They want power. They crave power. They don't care about it. Most of the people in NC, though, are probably going to belong to the group where you're a shinobi. You are the protector of this village. You save people. You're the hero. So being a shinobi really is a lot of different things. But essentially, you are a walking nuclear weapon. And regardless of whether or not you're good or evil or just not getting involved, you are a weapon. So that's essentially what a shinobi is. It's a weapon.
Yeah, so I mean, you can say that for any soldier or any type of mercenary in the real world. You're basically a weapon. You're trained to kill. So
exactly. And regardless of whether your training is as a mednin, you're still trained to kill as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Joe, you've been pretty quiet to the entire.
Oh, hi.
Hi there. How are you tonight?
I didn't forget you were there, so you're not a ghost or anything. So, anyways, you didn't make any. Can you make a response to this question? What do you think?
I kind of just play my character, someone like Jake said, who is the hero for their village. And I like playing the guy who goes around healing people, so I like playing a Mednin on NC. I've been doing it since, since almost day one, pretty much. It's really my thing. I enjoy, playing the support for people. I enjoy helping people out. Hold on, I gotta move chat. It's bugging me. My bad. You have those people who are out there for power. But most of them are pretty relaxed and are wanting to be the hero, work together, help the village, all that good hero stuff that everyone likes to do. Through teamwork, we can do anything.
Believe it.
Reminds me of Captain Planet. So.
Believe it. That's pretty much my take on it.
So. What about you, CJ? Any comments?
Well, the role itself is, and I don't say it's in a negative way. I'm going to say that it's ill-defined, and that there are small parameters that kind of you need to meet, and then the rest of the blanks you can kind of fill in yourself. Because realistically, a especially when you think about a shinobi society, it's pretty. What's what I want? Pretty expansive. That because advancements can come so rapidly through having, for the lack of a better explanation, ninja magic. Basically, with chakra, you can do a lot of things that you normally couldn't actually. And I'm not promoting the sudden, I have chakra, therefore I can immediately do this shenanigans. I actually like, research and things like that. But, that's neither here nor there. The thing that's important is that it gives people a lot of opportunity to have a lot of different roles. For instance, I role play a sugar-addicted, world-traveling chunin, who actually has a small amount of resentment for his village because he used to live outside in the sunshine and then they dug a hole and they put the village in it. So he doesn't like the cave. But he's also taken the time. He's managed to figure out a way to, because he's a ninjutsu user, he's managed to discover a way to spin sugar chakra so he can create candy out of thin air. And all it is a derivation of knowing how to manipulate chakra in crystal jutsu. And
so how is he not overweight?
He's
or diabetic.
There's actually an explanation. There's an explanation for these things. No, he's not.
Wasn't there a character from NC that could smoke and not get cancer? I remember that. There was
I don't know. I feel like that's every character. I don't think I've ever seen a character on NC that smoked a cigarette and gotten cancer before for it. Even career smokers. I know Masao's character used to be a really heavy smoker. I don't think he ended himself with lung cancer.
Actually,
we have ninja magic for that, though.
That's not correct. That's not actually correct because the reason why he got the RS Kenjutsu is because his health was deteriorating to the point where he was dying. So
I mean, it could have been cancer, but it's probably not.
He did a really good job in playing his character's age really well, which I really respect. Old characters like Ryujin, he's in his 60s, I think 50s, right? And we have
Mace. My 40s. Can I be old?
Masao's in the 50s too. So
we had Koba back in the day, back when I started in 5-1, who was actually, I believe, every time he used chakra, it brought him closer to death. He had a massive allergic reaction to using it or something. So he'd sit there getting a fight with people and then role play, throwing up blood and passing out and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, so I really respect characters. Shinobis have magic powers, but they're still human, It only amplifies their abilities, not make them gods. I mean, I guess
some can view themselves as that.
Hey.
Jake. I'm looking at you.
Jake.
Well, I hope you're looking at me. I'm good looking.
You're right. Anyway, we're moving on.
Okay, so Q&A. So I don't think there's any questions on the...
Well, I saw one or two I would really like to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one was from Ryujin asking how we feel about people doing things with OOC agendas just to troll. If you see anyone doing anything like that, report the post. There is a report button on the forum. You can report the post. You can PM an admin asking them to get involved. If you have logs or evidence or anything, we can hit people for metagaming or just straight trying their level best to... Yeah, that would be metagaming, doing something for OOC reasons, I see. But that is against the rules. The other thing, though, was someone asked, what about the opinion of people wanting to play a villain on NC? I think out of everyone here, I'm the best qualified to answer that.
You're not saying that, are you?
Nah. No. But I think I have, and I'm just being humble here, I think I've got one of the longest running villains on NC who doesn't just go around thinking they're a villain because they mindlessly call a B-mod on everybody. But I love it. I'm having a great time doing it. I haven't died in 2 years, shut up, Renzo. But I am having an awesome time at it. Hoshikata is actually right now ingraining himself into the leadership of pretty much every village. So he's becoming known to, at the very least, the people in charge. And once it comes time for that Kage Summit, things might be happening. They might not. It depends on how the IC stuff turns out for him that's going on right now. But he is, at the end of the day, he is evil. He knows he's evil. He's one of the few people who can pull that off, I think. And even if he does something good, you have to look real closely at it because anything he does he does with his best intentions in mind, and he doesn't care about anybody else's. So I'm having a blast doing it. Playing a villain is extremely fun if you can do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, just running around calling a battle mod on everybody or cussing at the people in charge, damn the man, that's not a villain. That's just a psychopath.
I always think that Mana is actually crazy because, like, I can't really get the characters. I mean, basically, like, she hates humanity, but she's destroying, like, environmental property. I don't really understand, like, what her deal is.
Stick it to the man.
I can't answer that very well because I'm not that familiar with Mana's story, but
yeah,
me neither.
As near as I can tell, keep in mind, Renzo's a good friend of mine. I've known him for 10 years, so I say this from the bottom of my heart. I think Mana just needs a hug.
The character, right now, actually.
Yeah, group hug. Everyone in Cloud needs to meet her here. We're going to do a group hug and see if we can make her smile.
It's actually kind of funny because Shinmu actually could do that.
If that doesn't work, we can always do the Care Bear stare.
I'll even put on the avatar for it.
The dancing bear, right? Dancing bear.
Oh, please no.
Oh man! So since I think we have one last question. It's for CJ. Don't know. I think it was
I'm pretty sure it's Daiki.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be Daiki.
The question is, if any NPCs enter Sand, if they're attacked, do they have a chance to fight back, or are they just about to insta-kill?
So I've definitely words are difficult. But I have definitely spoken towards that. My stance on NPCs and partaking in the event is that I will respect their ranks and their alleged abilities and allow them to roleplay. Because in this event, having as many pieces on the board is important. And like I said, in my general rule of thumb, I haven't actually had to enact it because, especially with all the new people that have joined, that I basically won't allow the NPC count to go higher than the current active PC count, and we're nowhere near it, which is good. But no, NPCs do not get insta-killed as well. So I'll lay out the obvious rule. It's basically the rules of NC regarding NPCs. If your NPC is being an obnoxious pain in the ass and is literally not contributing, like it's not, the taunting doesn't actually hold any ground, you're basically like harassing a player, you're probably going to get backhanded and instantly killed. I mean, like, don't be a jerk about it. If you want to roleplay seriously, I will treat it like a PC. So, if someone has an NPC inside the village, and there are several NPCs inside the village, as long as I've acknowledged them and they're on my notoriety scale for the event, they partake it almost as a full PC. So it gives people more opportunities to move around and make smart decisions considering how intricate the event itself is.
Which I think is a rule that everybody should follow, because I really don't like the idea of NPCs being so defenseless that they can't do anything. Like, you have 1 HP, so like you tell me a student can kill a joining NPC. I mean, some of the logic kind of doesn't make any sense. But I do feel like as mature roleplay, we should like assess the actual character's abilities before we actually do anything.
Well, the reason we have that rule about NPCs being one-hit kills, we had a lot of people who were pretty much just joining threads with an NPC, harassing people, and then going, "Oh, it's my NPC, you can't kill it."
Yeah.
So, the one-hit point rule came out. Now, if your NPC joins a thread and just straight makes an ass of themselves, congratulations, you lose that NPC. And if you're caught abusing your NPCs, congratulations, you're going to lose all rights to having an NPC.
That's true. Well, I guess it's debatable either way, so. Well, our time has been up. We'll try and make another episode in 2 weeks' time, so until then, stay frosty.
Yeah, I'm going to, as usual, try to make a after podcast call thing. And I'm going to invite Mana. That way we can all give a big group hug to Renzo.
Oh, yeah.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.